Is Dragon Ball Z universal? No, it's not. I have made a previous video on this topic where end of Z Goku is barely reaching low ranges to the multi-solar system level. So make sure to watch that first. In this video, I will be debunking a guy named Master of Chi video and his argument related to my previous video. So this video's objective will be just to end the Z Goku wanks and universal arguments. So let's get started. First of all, wherever I differentiated between the canon and non-canon materials in Dragon Ball Z is for a reason, which is for the inverse power scaling. For example, like we cannot scale Saiyan Saga Goku to star level just because he inversely scales above King Vegeta who has dwarf star level feat. Since we know it is a non-canon feat, if Saiyan Saga is actually above King Vegeta, he would just scale to canon King Vegeta who is just planetary. However, even in the anime, King Vegeta destroying those planets has no plot, no story, no relevancy, nor indicates to be the power level of King Vegeta. In the clip, all events and sequences of scenes were shown in a way that they weren't meant to be taken seriously, just like how visual sedimentations are created as a metaphor. And King Vegeta and Teen Vegeta sewn together laughing in the space after destroying those planets. It's something which is not meant to be taken seriously because we know King Vegeta was dead since Vegeta was a kid, and it's not possible for both Teen Vegeta and King Vegeta to exist together. It's just a visual metaphor of how Saiyans are ruthless and feel no shame but pride in conquering the world. We then see Freiza is big enough to hold a planet. Again, this is not meant to be taken literally. It would be a metaphor for how Frieza had taken rule over for the planet. And the destructions of the planet is much more likely to be the planets were destroyed one by one over time period. And the clip was just an exaggeration. Also, it would be a very much inconsistent to assume King Vegeta at star level when considering power level in Dragon Ball Z, and could also be considered as an outlier feat if you're gonna disagree with the overtime action. However, my point for canon and non-canon feat still stands. I don't know what he's blabbering about. The galaxy he's referring to is Goku's words and narrative flashback of how he escaped from the Namek explosion through his spaceship. In that scene, the explosion ends at getting a white background and a heavy red light, and the light is the cause of the galaxy getting lighter in color, not the galaxy getting destroyed. And most of the sources only state that the light from the Namek explosion reached the whole galaxy, which we saw in the anime too. Why would those sources miss to state that the Namek explosion destroyed the galaxy? And the Namek explosion from the battle scene didn't even destroy the planet in reference and the near stars. And this guy's claiming about the galaxy getting destroyed. Lol. I have no contentions and never stated it earlier in my video about the explosion destroying multiple stars and the hole in space was created by the explosion because the explosion itself is calculated to be low ranges of multi-solar system versus battle wiki. It's similar and but smaller void to the one created by Saitama and Garo. However, Frieza or Goku does not scale to the explosion. And Freiza does not scale to the explosion because all he did was destroy the planet Namek's core, which will scale from country level to planetary ranges. And the explosion of the planet was just an effect of chain reaction, like, for example, an article of butterfly effect. According to this article, a wind created by butterfly can lead into a creation of tornado over time, like could be of week, but that does not mean the butterfly scales to the tornado. Similarly, there was 5 minute difference from the core destruction and the planet destruction. So the planet destruction and the explosion would just be a chain reaction caused by the core destruction. And for supporting element for why Frieza or Goku does not scale to the explosion is that Frieza stated either he will kill Goku or Goku would die cause of the explosion. Frieza then stated if Goku by chances survives both of them, then he would die in the vacuum of space. Frieza stated three cases of Goku dying, not just the vacuum of space, as stated by that guy. And that's why Dragon Ball fans are trolled by this meme. And Frieza also said if he caught up with the explosion, it would lead to a huge impact on himself too, further proving that the explosion wasn't his attack potency. It's funny how all those statements about the Frieza destroying the planet Namek were just exaggerated by him and will mean the same thing which is Frieza destroying planet Namek was by destroying its core. Although Frieza's durability will scale up to the solar system tire cause of surviving the explosion and his AP up to Namek saga which is just star level. This guy is a troll. Non-canon materials can be used to scale canon materials literally matters and this guy is calling that non-canon is irrelevant. It's funny how Dragon Ball fans use Koyama's statements to wank Goku to outer reversal from Tutor's statements, but then says he isn't reliable when it comes to debunking the same Dragon Ball. Lol. However, he is completely reliable here cause he is the actual creator or author of the Garlic Jr. movie and all those statements by Piccolo and others are just knowledge claims and obviously they do not have knowledge about Garlic Jr.'s dead zone so they would be wrong about its creator and they would just assume it's Garlic Jr. who created the dead zone and the statement from Garlic Jr. himself could just be an exaggeration by him just to show his supremacy that how much capable he is and I am saying this could be the possibility of these statements is because Koyama himself confirmed that Carly Jr. is not the creator of the Dead Zone, and even Daizensu's statements confirms twice that all Garlic Jr. does is create a portal to the Dead Zone and not creating the Dead Zone itself, and all other databook statements could just potentially referring to the portal created by him to the Dead Zone, not the Dead Zone itself. However, if we are gonna take into account that he created the dead zone, that would just scale him to dwarf star level, which is like creating a black hole of the same size. Escaping from the dead zone where breaking through its barrier will scale nowhere, so there's no point in pointing it out. This is what happens when you take statements out of context and use them for scaling via quoting out of context. This is a wank. I do agree the heavenly dimension has stars and would scale to multisolar at bare minimum, but that feat demonstrated by Kali Jr. does not scale him to the realm. The statements like dead zone sucking up the whole realm are for just a palace and living existence within it. Dead Zone works as a black hole as we know that it was opened up for the whole fucking 20 minutes and extended up to two episodes, but barely sucked up the palace and barely affected the heavenly dimension. Cause Mr. Popo and Kami were on the upper portion of heavenly realm, and during this 20 minutes, no stars in the realm were harmed or even flinched. In conclusion, for the 20 minutes, the dead zone didn't even suck or destroy some planetary to star level ranges. So all those statements are just referring to the dead zone sucking up the living of the heavenly realm like Mr. Popo and Kami and other livings of it, not the realm itself. Even if we are gonna take into account that the dead zone is gonna shuck up the whole realm, then it would be a quite long as we have seen it has no such destruction covering up to star level even in 20 minutes, and Kali Jr. would only scale up to the creating the black hole kind dead zone which is large planetary to dwarf star level feet according to the VSVW pattern. He here didn't even understand what I was debunking on what the argument was, since he agreed with Frieza not wanting to destroy the universe but conquer it. Similarly, also agreed that Cell isn't universal, via it being overtime destruction, as stated by Cell himself or someone else at this rate, which again support my argument of Cell destroying the physical universe over time, and his transformation into perfect form wasn't stated to destroy the universe, it refers to leading the universe into danger. In his super perfect form, he was even needed to charge up just to blow away only a solar system.
It looks like it's time to find out what Cell can really do.
It's amazing. He's making the whole Earth shake.
This freak's total.
Now he decided to start yapping. Let's educate him. We don't take X thing to be hyperbolic because of contradictory evidence only. The main base for X thing to be considered as hyperbolic is that it sounds to be exaggerations to the normal capacity and flowery languages. However, Frieza does have contradictory evidence to the universal scaling, like the earlier planetnomic explosion affecting his huge power level, which something even Goku can't do, that entails the explosion having more attack potency, and it was just a solar system level durability. So in this case, having power to destroy the universe statement would be an exaggeration to his capacity and would be referring to his power conquering or destroying the universe over time, not his power to one shot the universe. He is further agreeing with my stance, like he is giving me more evidence now that why Frieza is just a threat to the universe, not the universe buster, by giving examples like the Hitler one. And the cell explosion in the other world is not even that wide. It has only created up to a planetary debris as stated by Cell himself, which would scale the explosion from large planetary to dwarf star level feet. That's not star or galaxies in the background, that's the explosion effect and the color animation. Stars and galaxies do not even exist in the other world. If it was star to solar system level explosion, there should have been stated as interstellar debris or galactic debris, not planetary debris.
I don't remember much after the explosion, but somewhere amongst the planetary debris the core of my being still existed. One living cell survived.
Those games seems having stars in the background prove nothing. Those games can just show that the cell falls from the other world and is regenerating in the living universe where having stars. protecting the universe. Tomorrow does not mean it will have no later day. Tomorrow here refers to the future, which also backs up by the Daizensu data book. Never in your life have you heard the phrase, your tomorrow depends on you today. And here, tomorrow does not mean the later day. Keyword scaling is just the fraud and ratting kind of scaling, just like how he won a rat here with the word poof. Here, universe into getting poof in that context can just refer to the universe future getting into poof if Boo wins against Goku, which is also supported by many evidences in the manga and guidebooks. Also, till Cell Saga, we saw none of the characters are passing the solar system tire. Boo took a years to destroy Nebula. It will just support my argument of it being a overtime destruction. Again, that's a clear strawman. The hasty generalization part was for the part where people try to conclude authorial intentions argument for spirit bomb being universal. He didn't even understand what a flashback or retrospective is. Through the statement, we see that first two planets are getting destroyed, and then the nebula got destroyed and stated to happen in a few years. The NIV adaptation was just showing and what happened in the past few years in just a few seconds of animation. Also, why do those games have any correlation to what happened in manga? That game isn't even canon. And I was debunking the argument of using pixel scale there. It does not matter if Grand Cube planet is comparable to Heaven or not. Heaven itself is not that big as it's overrated or assumed to be. And it didn't debunk any pixel scale argument. So Emma, go ahead. It proves how knowledgeable he is. Dominate does not only mean to rule, it also means influencing your power over a period of time. Kid Buu dominating the universe would mean influencing his power over the universe over time.
You didn't have to cut me off. Think I like it never happened, that we were nothing. I don't even need your love. You treat me like a stranger and I feel so rough. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to.
Strange?
Can I help you?
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
He is now further proving my point that it was mere spatial manipulation via raw power, like how via raw power, Gargoyle Gara, who is planetary to large planetary level, created a dimensional hole in God's dimension via spatial distortion, similar like how Pooh did and Buuhan was doing in that clip. The Daizensu statement by this space refers to the alternate dimensions which are going to rush into the universe.